So today I'm going to walk you through some things you're going to want to think about when you are planning out a kitchen and creating a kitchen design. This slideshow is posted here in Schoology also for you to refer to. So I'm going to kind of quickly zip through it. So the first thing you got to be aware of is that there are generally 6 different types of kitchen layouts. There can be some variations and things to these, but there are 6 main ones. And I'll go through these a little bit later in the presentation also, but there's L-shaped, U-shaped, G-shaped, a single wall, galley, and a kitchen island. The kitchen is usually the most expensive room in the house per square foot, but it's used the most out of any room in a house as well. So when you are planning out a kitchen, you need to make sure you know where the appliances are going to go, that they're within a good spacing of each other, that you have cabinets for storage, areas to prepare food. So generally there are 4 work centers in a kitchen that you want to make sure that you have and have adequate space for. So that includes a prep or a work area, cleanup, cooking, and storage. So here is a couple pictures that kind of shows you the difference. So the red is the cooking area. So obviously like the stove, microwave, oven, range area. Cleaning area is by the sink. So having a sink and countertop space by the sink to put dishes that need to dry. Work area is going to be like countertop space, things like that. And then storage. I think this picture over here is actually reverse, where the work area is this island, storage is all about around the fridge. But you want to have those areas and think about that as you are planning your kitchen. So another thing to think about is the kitchen work triangle. So this is how you measure kitchen efficiency. So it goes from the front center of the refrigerator, front center of the stove, and front center of the sink. And adding up those 3 lines, it should not be more than 26 feet and not less than 13 feet. If it's too big or too small, it just makes it really hard to use the kitchen efficiently. So a couple things to think about is that with the work triangle, you don't want it to have to cut through an island because really you can't walk through there. You'd have to walk around and that would make your triangle bigger. Your sink should be placed across from the cooking surface, prep area, or refrigerator just to keep it easier to use, things like that. And then you don't want to have like a major traffic area to walk through the triangle because it's just going to make it harder if someone's cooking. If people are going through this little hallway in the kitchen, it'll just make it harder. So like I said, to calculate the work triangle, you take the 3 sides of the triangle, X, Y, and Z, and add them together. So these are just some examples of ones that would be acceptable and how it would be laid out in different shaped kitchens. So you do need to plan out storage areas and should be near where they'll be used. So like pots and pans should have a cabinet or storage space near the range or oven, silverware and dishes near the sink and dishwasher. So getting into our different designs of kitchen. So this is a straight line kitchen where everything is along one wall. So those major 3 fixtures, the sink, stoves, and refrigerator, all the cabinets are on one wall. So here is a little diagram picture. So it kind of have an island too, but generally all 3 of those main fixtures and appliances are along that one wall. So this is used in small houses, cottages, apartments. Doesn't need a lot of space. It's real efficient, but typically you have limited cabinet space and it cannot be very interesting to look at. An L-shaped kitchen here, so you can see that it's kind of positioned in a corner with an L-looking shape. And it's located along 2 adjacent walls. It has a real efficient workspace, 2 work areas on one wall, one on the other. It's not intended for really large kitchens since you can lose efficiency with it being so spread out. But in a moderate sized kitchen, this works really well. And you can have an island in the middle too, as long as the spacing works for everything. So then we have a corridor or galley kitchen. So this is where it kind of looks like you're walking through like a hallway with the kitchen stuff on either side. So located on 2 opposite walls, usually in small to medium size, is ideal for a long, narrow room. The open space between these cabinets needs to be at least 4 feet to allow space for somebody to walk, to allow the doors of the refrigerator to open, things like that. It tends to be an efficient use of space, but not recommended if like people are going to be constantly walking through here. So that's not ideal to be treating it as a hallway. So we have a U-shaped kitchen, so it looks like a U. So this is a really popular and attractive kitchen style. It's really efficient. The work triangle is compact and functional. There's not going to have any traffic walking through the kitchen. Most are medium sized with the legs or like the two ends of the U being about 5 or 6 feet apart because you're going to need to make sure you have enough space around the middle. And you might not have an island or be a really small island to make sure you have 4 feet of space from the island to your cabinets, but you could have a small little tiny workspace there too. So a peninsula or a G-shaped kitchen. So these are really popular, lots of workspace. The peninsula can be a cooking center or like an eat-in kitchen bar top area. Traffic is reduced and the work triangle is typically small. So we have an island kitchen. So it has a big island, so more than just like some of those other ones that I showed you, where it was kind of a small or maybe just like a small little workspace. This is a large island. So it's typically a modification of the straight line or U-shaped kitchens. The island may house the sink or the oven. It should be accessible from all 4 sides, and at least 4 feet of clearance should be allowed on all the sides as well. And you can use the island for like the sink or a stove top, or seating is really common. So appliances. Appliances include like a stove or range, oven, refrigerator, dishwasher, microwave, garbage disposal. Those are all things you can include in your kitchen plan. There's also toasters, blenders, food processors, and coffee makers. But the ones that you would actually show on your floor plan are the ones that aren't movable. So like a toaster, blender, coffee maker, those aren't like a large thing that has to be secured or need a water line or be attached to the sink or things like that. They're usually like mounted devices. So only like these bigger appliances that are mounted and larger would be ones that would be actually shown on a floor plan. These smaller ones would not be. So with location and ventilation, a lot of times the kitchen is near the service entries, service entrance, so like attached to a garage, that door, or a side door, so it's easy to bring in groceries and trash. It's also usually located near the dining room. Windows are necessary, helps you view outside activities, make you feel like you're not in a dungeon, and also provide some ventilation. And then using a range hood or like a hood that's underneath a microwave is really preferred for ventilation also to not set off your smoke detectors. So cabinets, there are standard sizes, but there can also be custom also. So custom's obviously gonna be more expensive. So we're gonna stick to like standard size cabinets for most of our work in here. So here are some of the different sizes, and you can see on this floor plan image, so base cabinets, the ones that would be like sitting on the floor, have this solid line going around them, and ones that are attached to the wall have these dashed called hidden lines. So wall cabinets typically do not stick out as far as the base cabinets, so that's why they're indented a little bit. That allows space for you to work, have larger appliances, things like that. But this is a real good example floor plan that includes a stove, sink, refrigerator, has the work triangle on here all totaled up, having enough space around everything, and the cabinets all marked. So it's really popular now to have eat-in kitchen areas. So being able to not just have a dining room to eat in, but a little space inside the kitchen. So here is some info on that. All right.